Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is a phenomenal day to dive deep into the most explosive, jaw-dropping drama Los Angeles has ever seen. The stakes have never been higher, and we are breaking down every shocking twist right now. Let's get straight into the madness. The flashing red and blue lights of the LAPD cruisers are painting the Los Angeles night in a sinister, terrifying glow. The corporate fashion war has officially bled out onto the streets, and the consequences are absolutely catastrophic. Right now, Electra Forrester is sitting in a cold, unforgiving steel chair inside a sterile police interrogation room. The walls are closing in on her. The air is thick with panic, guilt, and the devastating weight of an impossible choice. Across the metal table, a hardened detective is staring her down, demanding the absolute truth about what just happened at the bikini bar. Electra is trembling. Her breathing is shallow. Her mind is a chaotic war zone of conflicting loyalties. On one side, she feels the crushing, undeniable weight of the Forrester family legacy. She just watched her grandfather, the legendary Eric Forrester, get brutally knocked to the floor. On the other side is the man she loves. Will Spencer. The man who holds her heart, the man who was only trying to defend himself in a chaotic, escalating brawl. But the detective does not care about romance. The detective only cares about the facts. He leans forward, his voice cutting through the silence like a knife, asking exactly how hard Will Spencer swung his fist. Electra is paralyzed. She knows that whatever she says next will completely destroy her future. If she lies, she commits perjury and betrays her own flesh and blood. If she tells the truth, she sends the love of her life straight into a jail cell. The tension in the room is suffocating. Every second feels like an eternity. The tears begin to stream down Electra's face. She chokes back a sob. She cannot lie. She simply cannot do it. With a trembling voice, Electra breaks down and gives the police exactly what they need. She confesses everything. She admits that Will swung with devastating force. She admits that the punch was brutal, reckless, and completely out of control. Even though she knows in her heart that it was a tragic accident meant for RJ, her words seal Will's fate. The detective closes his notepad. The damage is done. The truth is out. Electra has just handed the LAPD the smoking gun they need to destroy Will Spencer. Cut to the precinct bullpen. The atmosphere is electric with pure, unadulterated chaos. Will Spencer is standing there, bruised, exhausted, and desperately waiting for Electra to clear his name. He believes in her. He believes that their love will survive this nightmare. But then, the heavy metal doors swing open. Two uniformed officers march directly toward Will. Their faces are grim. Their intentions are clear. They grab Will by the arms. They spin him around. The metallic click of the handcuffs echoes through the precinct like a gunshot. Will is being placed under arrest for aggravated assault. He struggles. He demands answers. He screams that it was an accident, a terrible mistake. But the officers do not listen. They read him his rights as they drag him toward the holding cells. And then, time completely stops. Will looks across the crowded room and locks eyes with Electra. She is standing in the doorway of the interrogation room, sobbing uncontrollably, unable to look away. In that split second, Will realizes exactly what has happened. He realizes that the woman he loves, the woman he fought for, the woman he risked everything for, is the one who just sold him out to the police. The look on Will's face is absolutely gut-wrenching. It is not a look of anger. It is not a look of rage. It is a look of pure, unadulterated heartbreak. His soul is completely shattered. His world has just collapsed into a million pieces. Electra watches in sheer agony as the officers drag Will away, his broken gaze burning a hole straight through her heart. She reaches out, gasping for air, but it is too late. The heavy steel door slams shut. Will is gone. The Spencer heir is officially behind bars, and Electra is the one who put him there. But the nightmare is only just beginning for the young Forrester designer. Enter Ivy Forrester. Ivy has been waiting in the shadows for a moment exactly like this. She is a master manipulator, and she smells blood in the water. Ivy swoops in like a vulture, wrapping her arms around a devastated, hyperventilating Elektra. But Ivy is not there to comfort her niece. Ivy is there to poison her mind. Back at the Forrester mansion, Ivy corners Elektra in her bedroom. Elektra is pacing the floor, pulling at her hair, completely consumed by the guilt of sending her lover to jail. Ivy strikes with lethal precision. She lowers her voice, dripping with toxic sympathy. Ivy tells Elektra that she did the right thing. She tells her that Will Spencer was a ticking time bomb. She leans in close and whispers the most venomous lie of all. She tells Elektra that Will is exactly like his father, Dollar Bill Spencer. Ivy reminds Elektra of Bill's violent, ruthless history. She claims that the Spencer men are wired for destruction. She insists that Will's violent outburst at the bikini bar was not an accident, but a terrifying glimpse into his true, dark nature. Ivy's psychological warfare is absolutely relentless. She tells Elektra that she dodged a bullet. She tells her that Will would have eventually turned that violence on her. Elektra is too weak, too broken, and too traumatized to fight back. The toxic seeds of doubt are planted deep in Elektra's fragile mind. The guilt of the arrest, combined with Ivy's relentless manipulation, pushes Elektra over the edge. She falls into a massive, suffocating depression. She locks herself in her room. She refuses to eat. She refuses to go to Forrester Creations. The vibrant, passionate young woman is completely gone, replaced by a hollow shell consumed by grief and self-hatred. She believes she has destroyed Will's life, but she also fears that Ivy might be right. The Spencer-Forrester romance is dead, buried under a mountain of police reports, handcuffs, and toxic family lies. But while the younger generation is tearing themselves apart, a much darker, much more dangerous game is being played across town. Let us shift our focus to the Cliff House, where the ultimate betrayal is about to unfold. Taylor Hayes is playing with absolute fire, and she is about to get burned beyond recognition. Taylor is currently standing toe-to-toe with her fiercely protective daughter, Steffy Forrester Finnegan. The tension in the room is explosive. Steffy is screaming, begging her mother to open her eyes. Steffy knows that Sheila is a monster. Steffy knows that Sheila is incapable of redemption. But Taylor refuses to listen. Taylor is completely blinded by her own misguided optimism and her desperate need to believe in miracles. Taylor fiercely defends Sheila. She tells Steffy that Sheila has truly changed. She argues that Sheila's decision to sign the divorce papers without a fight is absolute proof of her reformed character. Steffy looks at her mother like she has completely lost her mind. Steffy issues a final, terrifying warning. She tells Taylor that if she continues to invite that psychopath into their lives, she will cut her own mother off forever. But Taylor's arrogance blinds her to the danger. She believes she can manage Sheila. She believes she is in control. She is dead wrong. Sheila is not reformed. Sheila is executing the most brilliant, diabolical manipulation of her entire criminal career. Sheila is using Taylor's empathy as a weapon. Later that day, Sheila meets with Taylor in a private, secluded setting. Sheila plays the ultimate victim. She cries fake tears. She talks about how much she misses John Finnegan. She talks about how her heart aches to just see her grandson, Hayes. Taylor, ever the compassionate psychiatrist, falls right into the trap. Taylor lowers her guard. She tries to comfort the crying sociopath sitting across from her. And then, the unthinkable happens. In a moment of complete vulnerability, Taylor accidentally lets a major, highly sensitive secret slip from her lips. It is a crucial piece of information about Finn and Steffy's family. Perhaps it is the security code to the Cliff House. Perhaps it is the exact schedule of when the nanny takes Hayes to the park. Whatever the secret is, it is the exact golden key that Sheila has been desperately searching for. The moment the words leave Taylor's mouth, the atmosphere in the room completely shifts. The temperature drops to freezing. Sheila stops crying. The fake tears instantly dry up. Sheila slowly looks up, and the mask completely falls off. The chilling, psychotic smirk that has haunted the Forrester family for decades spreads across Sheila's face. Taylor freezes. Her blood runs completely cold. In that terrifying fraction of a second, Taylor realizes the catastrophic, unforgivable mistake she has just made. She realizes that Sheila has been playing her from the very beginning. Taylor tries to backtrack. She tries to retract the statement. She begs Sheila to forget what she just heard. But Sheila does not forget. And Sheila does not show mercy. Sheila stands up, towering over a paralyzed Taylor. The reformed, peaceful woman is gone. The monster is fully unleashed. Sheila leans in close, her voice dripping with pure, unadulterated venom. She issues a brutal, inescapable ultimatum. Sheila tells Taylor that she is going to use that information to get to Hayes. And if Taylor tries to stop her, if Taylor tries to warn Steffi, or if Taylor tries to call the police, Sheila will completely destroy her. Sheila threatens to expose every single ethical violation Taylor has ever committed. She threatens to burn Taylor's medical license to ashes. She threatens to ruin Taylor's reputation so thoroughly that she will never practice medicine again. Taylor is trapped. She is completely cornered by the devil herself. The realization hits Taylor like a freight train. She has been bitterly, cruelly deceived. She has handed a loaded gun to a psychopath, and now that gun is pointed directly at her daughter's family. Taylor is suffocating in her own hubris. She thought she could cure the incurable. Now, she is an accomplice to a monster. But the nightmare does not end there. Secrets this massive cannot stay buried in Los Angeles. Steffi finds out. Steffi discovers that her own mother, the woman who was supposed to protect her, has compromised the safety of her children. The confrontation at the Cliff House is nothing short of apocalyptic. Steffi's rage is absolute. Her eyes are blazing with a fury that could burn down the entire city. Taylor is sobbing, begging for forgiveness, pleading that she was manipulated, that she made a terrible mistake. But Steffi has zero mercy left to give. Steffi looks her mother dead in the eye and delivers the most devastating blow of all. Steffi tells Taylor that she is dead to her. Steffi declares that Taylor has brought lethal danger to their front door, and because of that, she is no longer welcome in their home. Steffi formally and brutally cuts all ties with her mother. She slams the heavy wooden door of the Cliff House right in Taylor's sobbing face. Taylor Hayes is left standing on the porch, completely shattered, completely isolated, and utterly alone. She has lost her daughter. She has lost her grandchildren. She has lost her dignity. And watching from the shadows, hidden just out of sight, is Sheila. Sheila is watching the destruction of the Forrester family from the front row. A wicked, triumphant smile crosses Sheila's face. Her master plan has worked flawlessly. She has successfully weaponized Taylor, extracted the information she needed, and completely removed the biggest obstacle in her path. Taylor is out of the picture. Steffi is distracted by the betrayal. The gates to the Cliff House are finally unguarded. Sheila has won this battle, and she is now one step closer to claiming her grandson. The chaos in Los Angeles is reaching a boiling point that will leave permanent, irreversible scars on every single family involved. Will Spencer is sitting in a jail cell, his heart broken by the woman he loves. Electra Forrester is drowning in a sea of toxic manipulation and crushing depression. Ivy Forrester is pulling the strings of a deeply disturbed puppet show. Taylor Hayes has lost everything, destroyed by her own arrogant belief that she could tame a monster. And Sheila is preparing to strike the final, devastating blow against Steffi and Finn. The board is set. The pieces are moving. The destruction is absolutely inevitable. Will Electra realize Ivy is brainwashing her before Will rots in prison, and can Steffi stop Sheila before the ultimate tragedy strikes the Cliff House? Next. Two speeding trains are hurtling toward each other on the tracks of Los Angeles, and the devastating collision is entirely inevitable. On one side, a prodigal son returning to reclaim his throne, on the other, a desperate opportunist searching for her next target. The moment Wyatt Spencer locks eyes with Melissa Dillon, the shockwaves will shatter the Spencer family from the inside out and ignite a brotherly war that will burn the city to the ground. The bold and the beautiful fans have been screaming for Wyatt Spencer to make his triumphant return to the CBS soap for years, and the wait is finally over. The latest cliffhanger episode delivered a massive, adrenaline-fueled promo featuring the undeniable fan favorite Darren Brooks, confirming that Bill Spencer's prodigal son is back on the canvas. Wyatt is stepping off the plane and walking straight back into the high-stakes corporate and romantic warfare of Los Angeles. The details surrounding Wyatt Spencer's sudden reappearance have been guarded like a state secret, but the implications are already sending shockwaves through the fan base. The last time Wyatt graced our screens, he was entangled in a long-standing engagement to Flo Fulton. However, that was years ago, and in the soap opera universe, years of off-screen time can completely rewrite a character's destiny. The current rumors and visual clues from the promo suggest one massive, game-changing detail: Wyatt Spencer has returned home entirely by himself. If Flo Fulton is officially out of the picture, that means Wyatt Spencer is stepping back into Los Angeles as the single most eligible, dangerous, and wealthy bachelor in the entire city. A single Spencer man on the prowl is a weapon of mass romantic destruction. Wyatt brings a seasoned swagger, a billion-dollar smile, and a history of sweeping women off their feet. It will not be long before every single lady in the fashion district notices the new apex predator in the room, but one woman in particular is perfectly positioned to fall directly into his orbit. Melissa Dillon is currently standing at a massive crossroads in her life. Since arriving on The Bold and the Beautiful, Dillon has been notoriously unlucky in love, constantly playing second fiddle and watching her romantic dreams crash and burn. She has been desperately pining over Will Spencer, offering herself up on a silver platter, only to be ruthlessly rejected as Will continues to obsess over Electra Forrester. Dillon has been humiliated, sidelined, and forced to swallow her pride just to survive in the cutthroat social hierarchy of Forrester Creations. However, the tide is finally beginning to turn for the ambitious young woman. Dillon recently scored a highly coveted position as Daphne Rose Walton's new assistant, securing her professional foothold at the legendary fashion house. Furthermore, she has made a fragile, calculated peace with her former rival Electra Forrester. Dillon knows that if she wants to keep her lucrative job and maintain this delicate truce, she absolutely must let her toxic obsession with Will Spencer go. She needs to sever the emotional cord, but to do that, she desperately needs a distraction. Enter Wyatt Spencer. The universe is about to hand Melissa Dillon the ultimate consolation prize, and it is a prize that comes with a massive bank account, undeniable charm, and a direct blood tie to the man who just broke her heart. Wyatt is not just a distraction, he is an absolute upgrade in every conceivable way, and Dillon is far too intelligent and opportunistic to let a golden ticket like this slip through her fingers. The impending introduction between these two characters is destined to be a masterclass in dramatic irony. Now that Wyatt is back in town, he will inevitably cross paths with his younger brother. Will Spencer, completely oblivious to the catastrophic chain reaction he is about to trigger, will be the one to introduce his pal and former flame to his big brother. Picture the scene: the sleek, modern offices of Spencer Publications or the neon-lit, tension-filled atmosphere of the Bikini Bar. Will casually brings Wyatt over, intending nothing more than a polite introduction. The air in the room will instantly shift the moment Wyatt Spencer extends his hand to Melissa Dillon. We are talking about a cinematic, slow-motion introduction where the rest of the world simply melts away. Wyatt, with that trademark Spencer confidence and the smirk that has broken countless hearts across Los Angeles, will lock eyes with the stunning assistant. Dillon, who has been desperately treading water, will recognize the immense power and allure standing right in front of her. The handshake will linger just a second too long. The eye contact will be searing, undeniable, and instantly electric. Sparks are not just going to fly, they are going to detonate. Wyatt has always been drawn to beautiful, complicated women who know exactly what they want, and Dillon's ambitious, slightly dangerous edge is exactly his type. Dillon, in turn, will be instantly captivated by Wyatt's effortless charisma. He does not have the erratic, volatile baggage that Will currently carries. Wyatt is a fully formed, incredibly successful man who knows how to treat a woman, and Dylan will eagerly soak up every single ounce of attention he throws her way. The age gap between Wyatt and Dylan is definitely worth noting, but it is far from scandalous when it comes to daytime television standards. In fact, the age difference is the exact catalyst that makes this pairing so incredibly explosive. Dylan is exhausted by the immature, unpredictable games of the younger generation. She has watched Will spiral out of control, culminating in his violent, catastrophic brawl where he accidentally punched Eric Forrester. Dylan wants stability, power, and a man who does not need to prove himself with his fists. Wyatt provides that seasoned maturity. He has fought his battles, built his fortune, and survived the darkest corners of the Spencer and Forrester family wars. He brings a level of sophistication that will make Dylan feel like a true queen, rather than a desperate pawn. For Wyatt, Dylan's youthful energy, fierce ambition, and undeniable beauty will be a breath of fresh air after the heavy, unresolved drama of his past relationships. They are a match made in soap opera heaven, perfectly balanced by mutual attraction and unspoken ulterior motives. But the true explosion in this storyline will not come from the romance itself, it will come from the devastating psychological impact it has on Will Spencer. Will is the one who rejected Dylan. He is the one who pushed her away to chase after Electra Forrester. By all logical reasoning, Will should be thrilled that Dylan is moving on and finding happiness with his brother. But logic has absolutely no place in the mind of a Spencer man when his ego is on the line. The toxic, deep-seated possessiveness that runs through the veins of every Spencer male will violently ignite the second Will realizes his older brother is claiming the woman he discarded. Will might not want Dylan for himself, but his fragile, bruised ego cannot handle the reality of another man having her, especially his own flesh and blood. The moment Will sees Wyatt whispering in Dylan's ear, the moment he sees Wyatt's hand resting on the small of her back, a dark, consuming jealousy will claw its way up his throat. This is where the history of the Spencer family becomes a terrifying predictor of the future. For years, Wyatt and Liam Spencer waged brutal, emotionally devastating wars over the same women, tearing Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester back and forth in a relentless tug-of-war. The Spencer brothers are genetically hardwired to compete for affection, and now, the dark legacy is passing down to the next generation. Will is about to step into the exact same toxic cycle that defined his brothers for a decade. Will's jealousy will not be quiet or rational. He is already spiraling out of control, his mental state fractured by his violent actions at the bikini bar and the intense pressure of the corporate war between Logan and Forrester. Seeing Dylan, the woman who was completely devoted to him just days ago, looking at Wyatt with absolute adoration will be the match that lights the powder keg. Will is going to lose his mind, and his erratic behavior will threaten to destroy the fragile peace he has been trying to build with Electra. Dylan, who is a master of reading the room, will instantly realize the immense power she now holds. She might genuinely fall for Wyatt, but she will absolutely weaponize that relationship to torture Will. Every lingering glance, every public display of affection with Wyatt will be a calculated dagger aimed directly at Will's ego. Dylan is finally in the driver's seat. She is no longer the desperate girl begging for scraps of attention, she is the prize being fought over by two of the most powerful men in Los Angeles. Wyatt is no rookie when it comes to romantic warfare. He will quickly pick up on the underlying tension between his younger brother and his new love interest. But Wyatt has never backed down from a challenge, and he certainly will not back down from a kid brother who does not know what he wants. If Will tries to mark his territory or interfere, Wyatt will gladly put him in his place, reminding Will that he had his chance and blew it. The brotherly dynamic will shift from a happy reunion to a tense, alpha male standoff. This love triangle is destined to bleed into the massive corporate war currently engulfing the families. Bill Spencer summoned Wyatt home to help build the Logan empire and secure the hope for the future Diamond. Bill desperately needs his sons united, operating as a flawless, ruthless machine against Forrester Creations. But the moment Will and Wyatt turn their sights on each other over Melissa Dylan, Bill's grand master plan will be in severe jeopardy. A fractured Spencer family is a weak Spencer family, and Ridge Forrester will gladly exploit that weakness to destroy them both. The stakes have never been higher. Will's violent temper is already a massive liability. If he lashes out at Wyatt the way he lashed out at RJ Forrester, the physical consequences could be devastating. Wyatt is not RJ, he is a seasoned fighter who will not hesitate to drop his younger brother to the floor if provoked. The tension in the Spencer offices will be thick enough to cut with a knife, with Bill screaming for order while his sons silently plot to tear each other apart over a woman. Elektra Forrester will inevitably be dragged into this chaotic mess. Just as she begins to trust Will again, she will notice his dangerous, obsessive jealousy over Dylan and Wyatt. Elektra will realize that Will is not truly committed to her, his ego is entirely tied to controlling the women around him. This revelation could be the final nail in the coffin for Will and Elektra's relationship, pushing her permanently into the arms of RJ Forrester and leaving Will completely isolated and desperate. As the summer sweeps approach, the collision course is locked in. Wyatt Spencer's return is the catalyst that will change the entire landscape of the bold and the beautiful. Melissa Dillon is about to transform from a background player into the most powerful, sought-after woman on the canvas. And Will Spencer is about to face the ultimate test of his maturity, a test he is almost guaranteed to fail in the most spectacular, explosive way possible. The stage is set for a romantic bloodbath. Wyatt has the charm, the money, and the experience. Will has the youth, the desperate possessiveness, and the volatile temper. Melissa Dillon holds the detonator, and she is more than ready to press the button. The only question left is who will be left standing when the smoke finally clears, and how much collateral damage the Spencer family will suffer in the process. Will Wyatt and Dylan's explosive chemistry destroy the Spencer family from within? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and join our community for more daily soap updates.